Nick, do you remember yesterday we got a call who said that she loved Becky or he loved Becky because she could hang with the men on the microphone?
Right.
And we were like,
When
yeah,
did that happen? Yeah.
she's never been up against any dudes on the microphone, really. Wow. Talk about foreshadowing until last night. Not only is Becky Lynch in the middle of the ring with a microphone up against a man, but the man was up against the man when it comes to cutting promos because Punk, is no slouch.
Yeah.
Don't sell yourself short. You're a tremendous slouch. Punk is one of the best to do it. And Becky did an absolute phenomenal job with that promo last night. And one of the things that really resonated with me, Nick, was by the time they got to the end of it, and she was like dismissive of him and shooing him away, like her tone was so bitchy and confident, and the look on Punk's face was just like, she got me and there's nothing I can do about it. He almost had on like the Christian boo boo face as he walked away. He definitely had on a boo boo face. Like, what am I
Yeah.
going to do about this? Great job by Becky Lynch last night. And she definitely earned her stripes and proved that she can hang, clang, and bang with the best of them with a live stick in her hand. Your thoughts?
Yes. I'm gonna gloss over it. It was a great back and forth with her losing her mind a little bit in a positive way, and Punk being calm and calm and calm until he started getting slapped in the face, and Punk and he's not getting Seth coming out. But to your point, what you just talked about, when he finally they do the little stuck in the hallway thing, and he gets out of the and Punk gets out of the ring, and Becky just says, "Yeah, get out of here, beat it, whatever." It's such a long runway, and it's almost to your point how you wanted that uncomfortable Bronson Reed putting out Roman, and just to where there's a moment where it's just this just keeps going. This is in a totally different setting. The she keeps get out of here, get, and it's almost beat it, just like you said, dismissive, calling him out, and there's nothing he can do. It's people who are yelling while they're filming you fighting someone, going, "Yeah, you suck, get out of here," and you can't do anything about it, but it just keeps going on for a minute or two, and it's so dismissive, and you can't do anything about it, and you're like defeated by it. It's so well done that it becomes kind of cringy. A minute in, it's like she's still saying, "Oh, get out of here, beat it," and he's still got 50 yards to go. And I go, this is going above and beyond to be like, not like, and I mean cringy in the best possible way here,
Right.
because it's like, oh, she's still doing it. Oh, and it's sticking into his brain, and it's burning him. It's beating him down as he walks away. He's been dressed down, forced out of the ring, gets no payoff with Seth. And now as he's leaving, he's being told, keep going, get out. It is legitimately the bad guy version of the end of Harry and the Hendersons. Like John Lithgow's going, get out of here. Nobody wants you here. And everyone wants him to stay. This is the opposite. This is beat it. You don't belong here. You blew it. You tried all your games. You ruined a bunch of stuff for all of us for 10 years. Get out. Beat it. And like, it is just beating into his brain that I go, there, really, really well done by Becky there, aside from the promo already being good.
You just said that she beat him down verbally and he had to walk away. When was the last time you've ever seen somebody get the best of CM Punk on the microphone so bad that he had to walk away?
I don't remember. I don't recall.
And that is them putting Becky in a tremendous spot last
Yeah.
night, where for the very first time I had to watch CM Punk do something that he was quite uncomfortable doing. Yeah, he got peppered a couple of times in the face and she lit him up. And a good baby face is never going to hit a girl unless,
Right.
of course, your name is Tommy Dreamer.
This is a different time.
Different times, right? So he couldn't do anything about it, and he had to walk away. He had to walk away from Becky Lynch's words. And as he walked away, she continued to just throw shots at him. Like the farther he got, the farther she could throw that knife and stick it right in his back. And she was dead on balls accurate with everything that came out of her mouth. And I think the word dismissive is the word that really resonated with me last night and this morning. That's not that's a very uncomfortable feeling when somebody is dismissive of you. When you know that you don't have a comeback, and not only do you not have a comeback, you feel helpless at that moment. You're like, wow, I have absolutely nothing to say. This person got the best of me. And just when you want to come back with and say like, oh yeah, well I'll kick your ass, they just hit you with another dismissive line like you don't even matter. Like, stop it. Just close your mouth. You've lost. Put your tail between your legs and walk away. Live to fight another day because I owned you tonight. And wow, did we get that from Becky Lynch last night.
Absolutely. It was a calm, cool, collected Punk. Had to sit there and take it. Had no response. Obviously, there's no physical response in this situation. And long-term storytelling, letting that play out where he's like contemplating, God, this is really breaking me down, that much like you just said, he has no response that normally he would have for somebody verbally or physically. He has nothing there, and he had to sit there and take those slaps. And those slaps, I don't know if we've all been there before, but some of us have all been there before, where you're just sitting there and your jacket's getting ripped and you're getting slapped in the face and you're getting told to get the hell out, but then you're not allowed to leave and you're getting cracked in the face and there's nothing you can do about it. But now everyone watches it happen to you, where there is nothing you can do here, and you are getting broken down verbally and physically in the face, and you have to sit there and walk away. That is big time stuff when it comes to this pro wrestling art, where we're out there just going, I should be champion. No, I should be champion. This is deep stuff that even with surface level zingers and a couple cringy, weird beat it, get out of here's, the story in the middle, the creamy center, is very reality based and believable on so many different levels.
I love a good creamy center. The AJ Lee chants. Yesterday we talked about how in the match, in the 4-way World Heavyweight Championship match, they didn't say a word. The announcers, there was nothing said that would make you believe that AJ Lee would be, in your thoughts about this story coming up. But what you said, Nick, was Seth screamed, I hate your family. And that resonated with you. And I was like, is that enough for you to really make a case? And you're like, no, it's not. But it was something. It was something that had you scratching your head going, why did he say that? You could have said, I hate you. You could have said, you suck. I'm going to cave your face in because I hate your family. And the family had nothing to do with that moment in time. So that really stuck with you. Then we talked about how after the show was over, Big E and Jackie Redmond were talking, and the AJ Lee rumor talk came up. And we're like, is this them just talking about AJ Lee on their own? Would they ever be allowed to talk about AJ Lee on their own? And you talked about how this is all planting of subliminal seeds. And I'm paraphrasing here. Yes. Because then I said to you, are you suggesting that they're doing all this because they just want the crowd to start organically chanting AJ's name? And you're like, exactly.
Yes.
And lo and behold, at the beginning of the segment, massive chants for AJ Lee. 2 massive chants for AJ Lee. And those are the fans in Paris who were very smart, very educated. Punk did a phenomenal job of not acknowledging the chants. Becky did a phenomenal job of completely acknowledging, why would you chant for that person? That person doesn't work. Just jabbing that crowd enough to make sure they continued to chant the name. I think they got what they want. I don't know if AJ Lee is involved, if she's not involved, if she signs, if she's not signed, but I believe they got what they wanted as far as getting fans to organically chant AJ Lee.
Absolutely. And again, it does not even imply that that's where they're going. So if there is a way to be like, hey, listen, guys, I don't know who told you AJ Lee. We had a backstage with Rhea, so I don't understand where you're going. And so they're covered either way. But I love so many times I've said this before, when it comes to Vince and something is building to somewhere. In the past, it's here is a giant shovelful in your mouth of cake. Here's another giant shovel, and it's falling all over your face, and you can't avoid it. I like when it's the Family Guy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a little piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. And you're following the tiny trail, and some of them might be conspiracy theories, and you're like going through all the sentences that the announcer said. We say, oh, he did say this. He did say that. And it's like, I love when you have to choose your own adventure and hope that you're getting there or it leads you somewhere, but they're covered either way. I don't know why you would want to set up anybody to not come and be in this situation, but they're doing it without saying it, which makes it so much more fun. I don't know if 10 years later the world is going to react, but Chicago sure as shit will.
Chicago is going to be like, it's amazing how the stars line up for Punk over and over again when it comes to Chicago. It's insane. No. Like, they just happen to be in Chicago whenever there's a big moment that Punk is involved with. Back to that little segment that they did earlier on where, Punk is talking to Rhea and she's like, I'm really sorry about what you had to go through. And he's like, yeah, I'm really sorry about what you had to go through. And that's about it. It's just enough for them to tell the WWE universe, like you said, we never said anything about AJ Lee. Nope. AJ Lee has never been mentioned on WWE programming as far as Raw, SmackDown, or a PLE. Yeah, Jackie Redmond and Big E might have mentioned it. That's a speculation show. That's just a fun post show. Who knows? Those wild and wacky kids just bringing up AJ Lee's name, for whatever reason. AJ Lee and Rhea Ripley. How do you think the nation is going to vote on this? How do you think they're going to side, Nick?
I have to preempt this with, if you're somewhat our age and you listen to the show, which is a lot of people, you know the story, you know the lore, you know the AJ, you're probably doing the chants at home. If you're someone who has joined WWE fan base in the last 10 years, you do not know who AJ is. You do not know what she did the years before that. You might not care that you're like someone from 10 years ago that was somebody's girlfriend at the time. How does it matter? So remember, there's going to be a huge fan base out there that aren't the sickos and the smart marks and the 45-year-olds who know all that lore. And they're going to be like, oh my God, are you kidding me? This is obviously set up to be that way. And if you don't read, by the way, you even could read dirt sheets and you could read information online. If you're a recent fan, and by 10 years recent, you have no idea who AJ is. You're like, oh my God, Rhea Ripley's the best. I want her to be champion. She's my favorite person. She has all the followers on Instagram. That's the perfect setup. Oh, they're like punk rock people. They're going to be a team. They're going to clean them up. That's the difference in the two sets of fan bases that are very real. Me knowing it and having those little baby, I think, seeds planted yesterday, it's set up for AJ. But even next week seems kind of soon. But man, with the stars aligning for Chicago, maybe that's the perfect play. I actually think without even hurting Rhea, you have Rhea come out if there's some situation. And then everyone goes, yeah. And then some people chant for AJ, but she goes, I'm going to kick your ass, Becky, in 6 months. Anyway, my buddy's here. Oh, shit. You don't even have to hit music. People will lose their mind. And you can sit there and let that happen. And then you go give Rhea the rub. And if AJ's coming in for 2 matches or 2 appearances, now you transition to that into Punk and Rhea become pals unless you're signing AJ to a long-term deal, but the last 10 years would say she's not into that.
First things first, the point you just brought up about the age differential, the generational thing with AJ and Rhea is so dead on balls accurate, and I think it's the most poignant point you've ever made on this show that I've done, because you're right. There are people that might not even know who AJ Lee is. She has been so out of sight and out of mind for so long, and other than her posting something on Twitter like maybe 3 or 4 months ago, she posted a picture of her wrestling boots and it's got everybody in a tizzy, right?
Yes.
Other than that, I haven't seen or heard from her or anything. I don't follow on social media. I don't believe she's heavily involved in wrestling, if involved at all. So yeah, I could see a younger wrestling fan, the young guys and gals that Rhea all the way, because Rhea is one of the biggest stars in the WWE. And then I love what you just said about how you would book it if you had the pencil, because I was going to ask you, how would you layer this? Because for the younger, for the younger fan, you give them Rhea.
Yeah.
But then you swerve the people, and for the older fan, you give them AJ. It's definitely the best of both worlds. And Rhea is just used as just like you said, like, you know what, Becky, I'm going to kick your ass in 6 months after she gets done kicking your ass.
Oh.
And you do that in Chicago, and the place is going to go fucking bonkers.
Yep. Like, and it really serves two purposes. You help. It's an extra rub for Rhea, who who WWE has been clearly building for a long time and putting so much equity in important parts. She's the champion. She's in the important story, whatever it is. That is a way to have a win-win. What makes most sense to me is after 10 years, AJ just goes, oh, I guess I'm back full time, and I'm going to start with this tag match. If that's the case, I think it's 1 or 2 appearances or a match, or like they set up a match and then they have it and maybe that's it. But if you keep Rhea there, somewhat on the outskirts, or like, it's my buddy, it's my pal, or that's it, and they keep the loose affiliation, you can genuinely get a talking segment with AJ. Holy shit, we all lose our mind. We build to one match. We get it. And AJ gets put out and Rhea saves the day. And all of a sudden you have a built up team that you would like to have.